There's not enough time in the day to do everything that I want and need, and also not enough energy to sustain me throughout the whole day. When I was younger, it felt like I had all the time in the world. Sure, I had like a lot of things to do when I was in high school. I had my academics, I had my extracurricular activities, and in university and in my master's, I had, aside from my academics, some extracurricular activities as well, and more social life. And at the time, it already felt like a lot. But I didn't expect that it was gonna be much more than that. When I got married, I had another person to take into account and to take into consideration with things and to spend some quality time with. I had to work full-time, do chores, try to have some semblance of a social life, spend some quality time with him while still working on my personal goals, trying to eat well and exercise regularly. It felt like a lot to juggle sometimes, especially since I was younger. I didn't actually have to do chores then. Now that I'm a mom, it's a whole new different level. Now I have a little human that I need to take care of, spend some quality time with, and have all these little responsibilities around. Basically, my time is split between being a mom, being a wife, having some semblance of a social life, trying to work full-time while still doing chores, and all these admin things that go around running a household, trying to exercise well, eat well, trying to stay on top of my goals, and also now having a YouTube channel, trying to be more active on social media, and trying to do all the things that I still like doing. Things that give me joy and things that are fun for me. There's just so many things that need my attention and so many things that I want and need to do. There's not enough time in the day to do everything that I want and need, and also not enough energy to sustain me throughout the whole day. It can be really draining to try to do all the things and be all the things. And so today I want to talk about all of the things that I do that help me to stay on top of things and manage my time as a working mom. Hi, I'm Marielle, corporate working mom with a master in psychology. Here I talk about all things work-life balance, productivity, becoming your best self, relationships, parenting, so stick around if you want to see more of that. So the first thing that's very important to me is my planning system. This is my holy grail for getting things done. This helps me maximize my time and my energy. And since I'm a type A achiever, if that wasn't obvious already, I like checking things off my list and getting things done. I'm also a planner, so I thrive in knowing when things are happening and planning ahead. I believe that a good plan can take you far because it helps you to work smarter and not necessarily harder. I don't want to work myself to the ground, trying to do everything and be everything. I want to be smart about it, and my planning system helps me to do just that. Second is having habits in place. I have developed a lot of good habits that have truly changed the game for me because I believe that I need to feel my best to be able to show up as my best. Habits help me to stay consistent, to be able to achieve my dreams, and to be able to be the best version of myself. I actually have a habits video that I created a few months ago, so if you want a more elaborate look into that, a more deep dive into that, feel free to check it out. I'm going to link it down below. Next is that I have routines that I follow. I have a morning routine, an evening routine, and I even have a cleaning routine. I love them because they help me stay organized and on top of things. They help me maximize my time and my energy as well. I actually have both my morning routine and my night routine uploaded a few weeks ago. So if you're interested in checking it out, feel free to check out the link down below. The fourth is by giving myself time to unwind and time to be lazy. You need to give yourself some downtime because the goal is sustainability. We want to be able to sustain this for the long run and not just burn out very quickly. Because it's not possible to be at your best, at your 100% or even 110% every single day. It's just not realistic. You're going to burn out. So it's so much better to take things slower and to ease yourself in things and to take things one at a time to be more sustainable so that you can have this growth long term instead of have a very sharp growth short term and then just burn out. That's not the goal. So there are actually two types of things that I like to do, two types of downtime that I like to do. One is just being lazy and doing nothing, maybe scrolling on my phone, maybe going on social media and maybe binge watching something. And the second one is actually doing something that recharges me and rejuvenates me. An example of that is reading a book or meditating or journaling, something like that. Taking a bath maybe. You can also recharge your batteries by finding out activities that give you energy. What are these activities that give you energy? It can be maybe physically draining you of energy, but emotionally it really motivates you, it really helps you inspire you. Maybe it really helps to make you feel better, make you happy. And these things can really recharge your batteries. For me, for instance, creating videos and editing them, it takes a lot of time and energy physically. But for me, emotionally, I really enjoy them and I feel like it really fills my cup. So I feel like this kind of work helps recharge my batteries. Another thing you can do to unwind or be a little bit lazy is calling your friends or your family or spending time with your loved ones. This is really productive use of your time, and even if you might just be hanging out, it's so nice to be able to hang out with people you love and people you care about and just have fun with them. And it's just so energizing. The last thing is having some alone time. Having an alone time as a mom, I can tell you, is really tricky. However, it's really important to still have time for this for yourself. Really try to make time for it. And even if it's just a few minutes in the day, even if it's just half a day in a week, carve out some time for yourself to recharge and to do things that just make you you. Do things that just recharge your batteries and just make you feel like yourself. If you take care of yourself first, it's so much easier to take care of others. If you feel good, it's so much easier to show up as your best version of you to other people. It's so much easier to snap at people, to be a bit mean, to be a bit short to other people if you're not feeling well. You know, if you're sick or you're just tired, exhausted, if you feel like your battery is so drained, it's so much easier to just show up as not the best version of yourself. So do yourself a favor and try to carve out a few minutes a day, even just a few minutes a day for yourself. During this time, you can do some of your hobbies, you can find some kind of outlet. I love having a creative outlet for myself because creativity is one of the skills that I love just practicing for myself. I feel like that's something that I really enjoyed as a child, being just creative, and as an adult, I honestly don't have that much time to be creative right now, so I try to find some outlets for it. For instance, I really love to draw and to paint, and every once in a while, every once in a blue moon, I do paint sometimes. And it's difficult for me to find time for this because when you paint, I don't know if anybody of you paints, but it really takes at least an hour to have like some decent time for painting, so it really takes up a lot of time. So this is not something that I do as often as I would like, but I do try to fit it into my schedule when I can. Of course, there are a lot of other things you can do, other ways to have a creative outlet. So for instance, creating these videos again is also another creative outlet for me. Editing these videos is a creative outlet for me. So there are so many other things that you can do. Maybe cooking is also a creative outlet for you, baking, things like that. So I also enjoy those things as well, and I do feel like it also does help with my creativity. So these are the things that I have in place to help me feel good and show up as my best. However, I don't do all of these every day, or even every week for that matter. It's really just not possible sometimes. And if you're a mom, or if you're just a very busy person, you know what I mean. I think it's also important to note that it also depends on the season of life that you're in. Maybe at this season of life, you're just very busy. Maybe you just have a lot of projects going on. Maybe you have a business that you want to run. Maybe you have a newborn and it's just really a difficult moment right now. So it really depends on which season of life that you are in. And obviously you have to adjust yourself accordingly, and there are seasons of life when you really don't have that much time, and there are seasons of life when you have a little bit more free time. And so just need to see a little bit what works best for your schedule and what works best for you. What I find most important is that I have these habits, these systems and routines in place that I can easily do and fall back on as much as I can. Think of it as kind of like a template that's ready to use for you when you can. They're just some sort of guide that I can easily pick up and do when I can. And it's definitely not another thing that I want to add in my to-do list to just stress about. With my routines, for instance, my morning routine, I think about my habits that I have in place and think about how can I best use these habits today or this week. How much time do I have right now, and which is most urgent that I really need. For instance, I really feel like I need to be grounded. I really have nervous energy this morning. Maybe I have a big presentation at work. And so for me, what really helps is meditation. So I'm going to prioritize doing meditation first thing in the morning, and then maybe if I still have a little bit of time, I'll do the other things like journaling and things like that. But It really is tailored to how I feel and what makes most sense for me at the moment. If obviously I have more time and I can do all the other things as well. If I have a lot of time, I can do all of them, but it's just a cherry on top and it's really not very strict, and it really depends on what works best for you. I hope that this helps you if you're struggling to manage your time, or if you're struggling because you're overwhelmed with all of your to-dos. I want to reassure you as well that even if other people look like they have everything together, they don't. If your best today is just 50% and that's all that you can get from yourself, then you can just give 50%. That's all fine. If your best tomorrow is 100%, then that's great. Then you have a lot of time and energy to do all the things that you needed to do, and time and energy to do the things that you want to do, then that's even better. But if you can only do 70, 40% today, that's all fine and good. There will definitely be days when we can do 100% and we can really push ourselves, we can really achieve so many things. But then there are also going to be days when maybe we're not feeling great, maybe we're a little bit sick or so, and we're only operating at 30%, at 50%, and that's completely fine. There's always going to be days like that. Everyone is just trying to do the best that they can with what they have. So what you have is more than enough. And don't beat yourself up if today you're feeling great and tomorrow you're not feeling that great. It's all fine and it's all part of the process. We want to see this as a long-term thing, not just a short-term thing. Let me know what you do that helps you manage your time in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!